Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck while watching your friends seem to have their finances figured out? Well, the good news is that financial success isn't about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you have. You're going to be amazed when we tell you that 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, regardless of their income level, while only 32% have a written budget. Meanwhile, people who follow basic money management principles are 5 times more likely to become millionaires than those who don't. And it has nothing to do with earning 6-figure salaries. The difference isn't complicated financial strategies or risky investments. It's mastering 5 fundamental money management skills that anyone can learn. Here's what might surprise you. The people who build lasting wealth don't necessarily start with advantages or high incomes. They just understand how money actually works and follow simple systems that compound over time. In fact, there's a specific framework that can help complete beginners take control of their finances within 90 days. And by the end of this video, we'll show you exactly how to implement these 5 essential money management skills that separate financially successful people from everyone else. Make sure to stick around until the end, because we'll give you a step-by-step action plan that you can start using today to transform your relationship with money. So let's dive into the 5 money management fundamentals that will change your financial future forever. Tip number 1, the 50-30-20 rule that actually works. The first money management skill every beginner needs to master is creating a budget that you'll actually stick to. Most budgeting advice is so complicated that people give up within a month. But the 50-30-20 rule provides a simple framework that works for any income level. Here's how it works. Allocate 50% of your after-tax income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. Behavioral research shows that budgets with 3 simple categories are 6 times more likely to be maintained long-term than complex budgets with dozens of categories. But here's where most people get it wrong. They don't clearly define needs versus wants. Needs are expenses you literally cannot eliminate: rent, minimum debt payments, basic groceries, utilities, transportation to work, and essential insurance. Everything else is a want, including restaurants, premium cable, gym memberships, and subscriptions. The magic of this system is that it gives you permission to spend on wants, while ensuring you're covering necessities and building wealth. Many people try to eliminate all discretionary spending, which creates psychological deprivation and leads to budget failure. For example, if you bring home $4,000 monthly, $2,000 for needs, $1,200 for wants, and $800 for savings and debt repayment. This framework immediately shows you whether your spending aligns with financial success principles. The key insight is that this rule forces you to pay yourself first by making savings non-negotiable, while still allowing lifestyle flexibility. People who follow this framework consistently for 1 year typically have emergency funds established and are making real progress toward financial goals. Tip number 2, build your emergency fund the smart way. The second critical skill is building an emergency fund, but most advice about emergency funds discourages beginners from even starting. Traditional advice says you need 6 months of expenses saved before you do anything else, which feels impossible when you're living paycheck to paycheck. Here's our beginner-friendly approach. Start with a mini emergency fund of just $500 to $1,000. This small amount handles most common emergencies: car repairs, medical copays, appliance replacements, or temporary income disruptions. Once you have this foundation, you can work toward the full amount gradually. Here's what makes emergency funds powerful. They break the debt cycle. Without emergency savings, people use credit cards for unexpected costs, creating debt that takes months or years to pay off. A small emergency fund prevents this cycle and actually saves money long term. The fastest way to build your initial emergency fund is through found money, tax refunds, work bonuses, cash gifts, money from selling items, and refunds from canceled services. We also recommend the roundup method. Round up every purchase to the nearest dollar and transfer the difference to your emergency fund. If you spend $4.50 on coffee, round up to $5 and save 50 cents. This typically adds $30.50 per month without feeling like a sacrifice. Having even $500 in emergency savings dramatically reduces financial stress and increases confidence. You start making decisions from stability rather than desperation, which leads to better financial choices across all areas. Store your emergency fund in a separate high-yield savings account that you don't touch for regular expenses. Once you have your mini emergency fund, work toward the full 6 months by adding $50 monthly. Tip number 3, automate your financial success. The third essential skill is automation, setting up systems that make good financial decisions without requiring constant willpower. People who automate their finances are significantly more likely to reach financial goals than those who rely on manual money management. Here's what to automate first: savings transfers from checking to savings on payday, bill payments for fixed expenses, minimum debt payments to avoid late fees, and investment contributions to retirement accounts. Automation removes the emotional component from financial decisions. When money transfers to savings automatically, you can't spend it impulsively. When bills pay themselves, you avoid late fees. When investments happen automatically, you benefit from dollar-cost averaging. Start by automating one task per month. First, automate a small savings transfer, $25 to $100. Second, automate your largest fixed bill. Third, automate minimum debt payments. Fourth, automate additional savings as your budget stabilizes. The psychological benefit is enormous. Automation removes decision fatigue from financial management. Instead of making dozens of money decisions weekly, you make a few setup decisions once and let the system run. Use your bank's online bill pay and automatic transfer features, which are typically free. Review your automated systems quarterly to ensure they match your current situation, but don't turn them off completely. Tip number 4, understand and eliminate high-interest debt. The fourth crucial skill is understanding how different types of debt affect wealth building and prioritizing elimination strategically. Not all debt is equal, and beginners often focus on the wrong debt first, costing thousands in unnecessary interest. High-interest debt, typically credit cards charging 18 to 29% annually, is a financial emergency that should be eliminated as quickly as possible. This debt compounds against you, meaning balances grow despite regular payments because minimum payments barely cover interest. Here's our strategic approach. List all debts with balances, minimum payments, and interest rates. Pay minimums on everything to protect your credit, then attack high-interest debt aggressively, using either the debt avalanche, highest interest first, or debt snowball, smallest balance first method. The avalanche saves more money mathematically. The snowball provides more psychological motivation. Choose the method that matches your personality. Consistency matters more than perfection. But here's what most debt advice misses. You need to address the behaviors that created debt while paying it off. This is why building emergency fund and budget systems first is so important. Low-interest debt like mortgages or student loans below 7% can actually be beneficial when managed properly. Focus intensively on eliminating high-interest debt while maintaining minimums on low-interest debt. The psychological impact of eliminating high-interest debt is transformative. People describe feeling free because high-interest debt creates constant background stress that affects all life areas. Tip number 5, start investing even with small amounts. The fifth essential skill is beginning to invest with small amounts because time in the market beats timing the market. Many beginners delay investing because they think they need thousands of dollars, but this delay costs them compound interest. Here's why starting early with small amounts beats starting later with large amounts. A 25-year-old investing $100 monthly for 40 years will have more at retirement than a 35-year-old investing $200 monthly for 30 years. The 10-year head start is worth more than doubling the contribution. Modern platforms have eliminated barriers. You can start with $1, buy fractional shares, and access diversified index funds with minimal fees. Apps like Acorns and major brokerages offer beginner-friendly interfaces. Start simple with broad market index funds rather than individual stocks. Index funds provide instant diversification across hundreds of companies, reducing risk while providing market average returns that historically beat most managed investments. We recommend the 3-fund portfolio Total Stock Market Index, 70%, International Stock Index, 20%, and Bond Index, 10%. This provides global diversification with minimal complexity and fees under 0.10% annually. Start investing automatically and consistently, regardless of market conditions. Set up automatic transfers and purchases. This removes emotion while benefiting from dollar cost averaging. When you start investing, even with small amounts, you begin thinking like an investor rather than just a consumer. Don't let perfectionism prevent starting. A simple strategy you follow beats a perfect strategy you never implement. Your 90-day action plan. Days 1 to 30. Foundation building. Calculate after-tax income and implement 50-30-20 budget. Track spending for 1 month. Open high-yield savings account. Set up automatic $50 to $100. Transfer to emergency savings on payday. Days 31 to 60. System development. Build mini emergency fund to $500 to $1,000. List all debts and create elimination strategy focusing on high-interest debt. Automate bill payments for largest expenses. Research investment options and open investment account. Days 61 to 90. Advanced implementation. Increase emergency fund contributions and continue debt elimination. Start investing with automatic monthly contributions, even $25 to $50. Review and optimize systems based on experience. Plan next phase goals. Remember, money management isn't about perfection. It's about progress and consistency. Most people implementing this system within 90 days report dramatically reduced financial stress and clear progress toward goals. Your financial future isn't determined by your current situation. It's determined by the systems you build and follow consistently. Start with whichever tip feels most manageable, but don't underestimate the compound effect of implementing all 5 systematically. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical financial advice. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, financial success is a skill that can be learned by anyone willing to follow proven systems. Start implementing these strategies today and take control of your financial future. See you in the next video.